All right. Welcome to Vikas Web channel. My name is Vikas and I'm here back again with another video. And this video is the fourth video in our full stack MERN project series, where we are building a web application that is to do with URL shortening, so that you will pass any long URL and then you will get a short code of short URL. We already have something done in our previous videos, and you can find all those videos under the playlist in my YouTube channel. You can also get the project from this GitHub, and I have the link in the description, everything related to it. So just to give you an idea, I'm developing everything in tutorial branch, which depending on when you will see may or may not be already in master branch. However, if you want to follow from the first video, from the first very start, then you can use this press start branch, and then you can continue from there. In today's video, we will be focusing in the front end part, so where our user can sign up and then they can log in, and then we will save this accessToken in local storage. So we will be focusing on that part, and that will be the topic of today's video. So if that sounds exciting, and if you are up for this whole entire series, then smash the like button. If you haven't subscribed the channel already, click on the subscribe button, as well as hit the bell icon, so that you will be notified whenever I upload new video. With that being said, let's start the video. So here I am in VS Code project, and today we will be dealing mostly in client side. So we are here and we have already some component, and we already have some pages, or at least page setup. So let's go to our pages folder here, and inside pages I will create another folder, and the name of that folder will be auth. And inside auth we will have login.tsx, and we will also have another, and that will be register, or we can even say signup.tsx. And then we will also have a style file, so I'll just write auth.css. Additionally, if we follow this pattern, then we can also have login as a folder and then have everything. But because if you see in the design, they share almost the same styling, so I just wanted to create like this. And then in future, if you want to have password reset and so on, you can also add those there. So let's go to login, and let's create a login page for now. And before I forget, I will just import auth.css, and also I will copy this. We'll go here, and then here I will just do sign up. And actually, let's go here and let's just make at least the name of the component login there. So that's good. The next thing before we move in styling that is we have to go to our routes, and then here we have to import login, and then you know what, we can actually, let's follow the pattern and let's just do s there, and also let's go here and let's do sign up. So go here and let's import it again. So let's go to route, and then here what we can do is we can have login, and we can have sign up. And for login, we'll just go here and do login, and for sign up we'll go here and do sign up. All right, so it's still showing the old file structure, and for that I need to restart this project. I have some issue with VS Code. Whenever I change the the name, it creates problems. I will restart it. Okay, so this is fixed now, and we have these routes. So now if we go here and if we try login, we see login, and if we try sign up here, we will see sign up. Of course, after we are done with the registration, then we actually want to make these routes as a public and private route, which means this dashboard should be only visible if someone has actually authenticated, so that person has right to go there. Otherwise we should be directing everyone to log in, and that's what we already have this video. So here you see I have created this protected route, and I have this React router, and there is how to handle everything. So almost everything are covered in my video. You can go and check it out there, but we will be implementing that later. But first, let's make sure that we can actually register, and then we have token, and then we can use those token later to have a route permission setup. Okay, so let's start with a sign up page. So we are here in sign up page. So in sign up page, we have logo, and then we have this name and everything. So let's go here. I'll just give this a class name of sign up. Actually, I can give this a class name of auth, and then we have a logo there. So logo should be somewhere already used, and if I am not mistaken, we already have logo here. So this is the logo we need. So let's just go and do auth container. So we have logo, and then we can do auth form part. So what we need, and if I understood correctly, we already have couple of things that we can use. So we already have text input that we did in our previous video. So, and then we also have buttons. So basically we have a lot of things already covered. So let's just go here and let's just have a text input. Okay, so how many text input we need? We need 3. So let's fill out. So what are the things we need here? If I hover over here, so we need on change, and then we need a couple of things. Okay, sounds good. So let's go here, and then here I will just say const, and we have sign up payload, and that comes from, and for now we can have it like that. So we have full name, that's empty, and then we have email, that's empty, and we have password, that's empty, because those are the field here. And in backend, in server side, we actually have types, and in user type we have this user register payload. We will need this type also in the client side. We can also have a share folder and use the type for both, but we want to also create types per client side itself. Kind of duplicate it, but we will do that. So for now this is enough. So if you hover here, it will actually give us, well, it's giving us type any, but that will change. So we can even have the type already defined here, but let's just deal with this now like that. So we have a label, and label will be name. We can just write full name just so our user know, and then on change we get value, and that value will just write set sign up payload, and then we can have everything whatever we have from our sign up payload. However, the full name is what we will be saving. So this way we have there. Additionally, if we want, we can even have placeholder here. So now we have this text input. Let's do it 3 times. So instead of full name here, we will also want to have something, and that will be email, and here we will have email, and we'll just write your name at email.com, and then here we want to have password, and here I will just write password, and we don't need a placeholder for password. However, we have something called type and password. Okay, so we have capital P, and that's a little bit weird, and I think we need to modify something. So let's go to our text input here, and first of all, instead of password capital, let's make this P. And I have also realized we need value, and that value can be a string for now. And then in input we have value. We did not do it in our previous video. Okay, so probably everything in our dashboard is without value, and it is. Alright, so I added value here, and we are still getting some problem, and it says use state does not exist. Okay, so I have some typo there. Okay, so now that's gone, and we are getting some problem here because in our text input we are saying we may get string or number, and that's why we are getting this issue. Of course, there is an easy way to fix this, and that is just go here and just do it to string, so that way we are sure that we are getting string. So let's go and let's see sign up page, and you can see that we already have this logo here, and then we have full name, we have email and password. That's pretty good. And then we need button, so we have sign up button, and then we have this small text. So let's go and do that. So to do that, after the form, so we are somewhere here, I guess this one. Then we go and action. So here we can have a button component, and then button will also need something, and the label is sign up, and then we need on click. That's what we will fire. For now, let's just write sign up, and we still have one more, and that is this one. So already have login, and here we will have a link later. So link, and that link will take to, and it will go to login. So now we already have this. If you click, it will take us to login. We go back, we have sign up button. That's pretty good. We need to style this, but other than that, our sign up page as a page design itself is ready. I will quickly go and style this. So I will pause the video so we don't waste time. you will get all the CSS and everything from the GitHub, so no need to see everything. Alright, so this is what I have made so far, and in a bigger screen it will look like this, and then in a smaller screen, so if you go here, it's kind of responsive until here, so pretty good. Looks almost identical to the design. Of course we don't have any bar here, so looks a little bit different, but other than that I think pretty nicely done. We can have things here, we can have things here, we can have things here, and yeah, okay. So sign up page seems to be good, at least to me, and this is all I added. I have some auth here, and then I did some image styling, I did some auth div, so for all those input, and then some for action, and then for some action button. So that's all good. So let's just close this, and then what I would like to do is I would like to copy all of these exactly. Additionally, we can even make a component and use component, but let's not overkill it. So we do that, and then we need to import things like we did. So let's just go here and let's import those things, and then we also want to have this here. However, instead of sign up payload, we will call it login payload, and we will call it login payload. Now let's select this sign up payload dot and change it to login payload. That's good. And then we have password, we have email, so we don't need full name. So let's actually go and delete the full name. And by the way, this needs to be also login payload, and that's good. So the next thing is this one here. So I'll just go here and make this login payload, and then the last one here, our setter function login payload. All right, so now instead of sign up, we will call it login, and then here we can say no account yet, sign up. So let's just go here, and then here we'll just use that route, and this is a login route. And now just like that, we have a sign up page. If we want to go to login, we have a login page, and it says if you don't have it, go to sign up. So we have sign up, we have login. So the next thing is actually attach all this payload and make it work with actual request. So that is what we will be dealing with next. And in our last video, we did all this request and everything from here, from this one. But now we will modify this in case of sign up and login, and actually use a better way. We'll still use Axios, but we will modify Axios in such a way that we want to actually have a better practice there. So let's go to src here, and inside here I will call some folder, and the name of that folder will be services. We can even call API services. So inside services, we will create one service, and that will be auth service. We can call auth service. So this will be just a TypeScript file, and then we will have HTTP service, or actually we'll just say HTTP client, And then for later use, we will also have our URL service, but for now we will only deal with those. And here in HTTP client, we will import Axios from Axios. We have already installed that, and we have already used Axios here, like to post our URL, which you saw in the dashboard in the demo that I did in the very beginning of this video. But instead of just doing this, we will do a couple of things here. accessToken from local storage. So let's go and let's do already. We don't have it, but we'll just make it. So we'll just get item, and we'll just say token. So we'll do something like this. So the idea is that we will say accessToken, and let's call this accessToken. So we'll have accessToken from local storage, and then if we have accessToken, we will do something. Anyway, we will export default. So we will export Axios. However, we will modify something in Axios, and the first one is base URL. So in our case, the base URL is this one. So if you see here, this API is our base URL. This after that we have URL, and then we have users. So if we go to our Postman here, for user login, we use this user login. To post something, we have like API and then URL and so on. So our base one is our API. We'll just do this. I think, yeah, let's do slash. So we already include that, and then we will have headers, and inside header we will have something called authorization, and then we'll have something here, and it's just a practice I'm following. And then we will have $sign here and accessToken. So idea is if we have accessToken, we will pass that. So instead of using Axios, okay, so let's go here actually. No, not here. So I will show you why we created something like this. So for example, in our dashboard, we had this Axios.post. Now instead of Axios, we can import our HTTP service. So something from, so let's still go one more back, and we could also have some aliases, so we don't have to do all this kind of import, and we can do absolute import, but that will be a separate video. So we'll go there, and then we have something called HTTP client. You can give any name you want, but I will still call it HTTP client. And now we can use this. So instead of doing this axios.post, what I can do is I can have HTTP client.post. In that case, I don't need to give this whole, because we have already added that base here, so I don't need to give that, and I can save it. So there is some problem, so it cannot be, it is isolated and so on. So we'll fix what is happening there. Okay, I understand that it's because we don't have anything. For now, let's just do const something is something. Okay, so probably that should solve it, I guess so. And let's go here. Do we still have this running? Okay, so let's just go here and let's do export. I think we are good. So now if we go to the dashboard here, and if we copy this, so let's see if our request is sending properly or not. And you see we get this. So it still makes request and everything to the same URL. So if we send it, it actually does the same request. And if you see the header, this is actually sending here, request is post, everything is working just like it would be. But now we have a benefit, and the benefit is we can attach all this kind of different thing. And not only that, let's say in future when you are done with this project, after a couple of years or couple of months, you decided that okay, you know what, we don't use Axios, we'll use some other HTTP clients. You just need to do the configuration here, and because you are not using Axios anywhere else, so you have that benefit. That's one benefit. Another benefit, let's say someday your API gets versioning and it becomes B1 or something. In that case, you also don't need to change this API base URL in all of your calling, because you have only one place to change it. So I actually have a complete video about making a better API calls and everything, so you can go and watch this. So this video, API call for production, it is all about this kind of using services. I might have used a repository there or something, but still the idea is same. So that's the good thing, and that's why I didn't even call it Axios client, but I call it HTTP client. You can even call API service client, whatever it is. So inside auth services, so here we'll actually go here and we will import HTTP client, and then instead of doing this kind of thing directly inside component, we want to actually have a uniform way of dealing things. So first here we will go and we will have create user, or we can even say sign up, and it will take some payload, and for now I will just give any type, and this can also be async function. It should be async function, so we can have some try catch here, and then for now I'll just console log error. And then here what we can do is we can do HTTP client dot post, and then we can have user route. So if you go here, then we have this API and user route where we can sign up our user. So that is also here in our backend. And if we go to route, we have user route, and this post is what we are using for sign up, and we are expecting some payload here, and the payload is user register payload type. So let's go here, and actually inside this file I will just copy the types, and I will go to client, I will go inside src, and I will paste it. So we have inside, we don't need this express, so I can delete it. And then we have URL type, and we have user type. Okay, so this way we have the type. As I said, we can even have a share folder and use the type so that we can just modify in one place, but let's just separate this so that if you want to use it separately, you have that possibility. So here let's go and let's import the type from types folder, and here we can have user login payload type, user register payload type. Okay, for now let's do that. And then we have sign up here, so now here we can say it should be user register payload type. So that's the payload type we are expecting. And then we have this dot post, and we are passing payload, and that will be whatever the payload we are passing. So now let's go here, and then we just say data, and that's the data we are passing. And when we have data, for now let's just do console log and data. So seems like data does not exist in response type, so we may want to, okay, so we have that Axios, so maybe, okay, so let's just do this. So now we already have our sign up here, and then we can also do the similar thing for login. So let's just go here, and we will create login, and instead of user register we will write user login payload. And then here if we go and check here, so to login we need user/login, so that's what we need. So let's go here, so we need that. We can still say that one. All right, so we already have auth services, and then later we will also have URL services. So inside auth services, let's go to sign up, and then here I can actually move this there. So now, and then the CSS, let's move it at the end. So we can go here, and then we can have our services. From services, and we have auth services, so we want sign up. All right, so all we need to do is, instead of having this sign up, we can just call sign up, and you can see we can pass this payload, and that will be our sign up payload. All right, so technically if everything works, then we should be able to actually have everything working. Sure, we also need to do some validation, so that if all these fields are not filled, maybe we want to disable the button, we want to tell them that the email is not in email format, and so on. But that is up to you, and maybe if I will make a separate video about validating user and all those input field in front end and back end. I will create separate videos in future, but for now I'll just proceed, hoping that our user will actually have everything given properly. So let's go here and let's go to sign up page. We are in sign up, so let's clear everything. So two things we will be taking here is, one is here in console, because we need to have our data there, and we will also see network if we get the request. So let's have the name Because Web, and let's also have here Because Web. I will just do that, and something like gmail.com, and then the password is, we can just have ABC123. Let's sign up, and looks like we have something here. Okay, we have promise fulfilled. So but here if we go in response in preview, we actually got our accessToken. We got everything we wanted, so that's pretty good. Now if I try to make another request, we should be getting that email address not available. That's pretty good. And actually we have also thing here, so let's go and see what did we do that. Okay, so it's clear we have to do await here, and then we have to do await here. So if we had done that, then when you do here, you see it says that we are getting issue, and then we have response, and there is a data, and it says email address is not available. Of course, if I add one here, and if I do sign up, so now you can see that we got data, and inside data there is actual data, and that's the data we are sending back. We have status and everything. So now this is the time we can actually go, and here now it will magically work, because earlier I missed that await, so that's why it was complaining. So we have that data, and then here instead of console log, I can do so that local storage set item, it will be accessToken, and then it will be data.accessToken. Okay, so that will be the case. However, we may be repeating this, so let's just go, and somewhere here I will just create a helper function, store accessToken to local, and we will provide SS token that will be string, and we don't need to return anything, and all it does is, so the reason behind using this is we don't need to write the same code twice. So I can just do data.ss token, and also I can do the same thing here. So far so good, but we should do error handling and showing error to UI. So that is something we need to do. So we need to save this error somewhere. Usually when you have a state management, we are showing it there. Additionally, the same kind of thing we can even do inside signup. So instead of doing signup here, we can do signup somewhere here. So in a separate function, and then from there we can have async or something, and then whenever we have error, we can save another error here, and then we can just have some if error and then the option of error. So we can do that, but that is up to you. That is your homework. You can do it. I can review your code if you tag me somewhere, but that is up to you. And I will do the same thing here also. So you should be able to do that. All right. So now let's go here. Let's clear everything. And then let's go to application. And we are in local storage. We don't have anything. So if we go and sign up, we are getting error, of course, because we already have that thing there. However, if I go here and I make this 2, I go and I have SS token, and this SS token, if we go to JWT decode, it actually has all the information we need. So it says that we are logged in, true, and our email address is this. So that's the information we will use in our route control, and that's what we are going to do the next. Okay, so let's go to our component here, and inside component I will create a folder called route restriction, and here I will have 2 files or 2 components. One is private routes, and then another is public route. And the information that I'm going to do now is actually all included in this video. So please go and watch this video if you want to understand everything in detail. So here we are, and I'm going to create this one here, and I'm going to create this one here. So with these two, we will be controlling our route. Private route, I need to know if user is actually authenticated or not. So that's what I will need. So for that, what I can do is, well, let's just say use auth, and that will give us boolean value. So what we do in use auth is we'll try to see if we have SS token or not. So let's go here and let's say let SS token is local storage get item, and we have SS token. And these kind of things, it's also a good practice to have a folder called constant and then have this value in constant and export them. So that way in auth services here we will actually not type it manually, or instead of that we will actually import it from the constant. And creating constant is nothing. We will just need to do export const, and then we will just write the variable name and do this, and then actually import this and then use that instead. For example, something like that. So that way we will have a better practice, but I'm not going to do it because we only have maybe 2 places where we will do it. For now I'll just do return false. So what we want to do here is we want to see whether we have SS token or not. So if we don't have SS token, that means it's false. That means we don't have anything authenticated. If we have SS token, we will also like to do a couple of things. So the first thing is we want to decode. So there is some package, let's see, JWT token decode npm. So okay, so it has 5 million, so maybe this is good. So all it does is we do that and we will get the decoded. All right, sounds good. So let's go to client here and add JWT decode. Okay, so let's go here, and what we have to import. Okay, let's just copy this, and also let's just do decode it. So if we have that, const decoded is actually SS token, and we can actually have type. Do we have some type? What is the token? So if we go here, we may get something. Let's go to our backend here. In the middleware we have auth, and this is what we need. So we'll just go here and actually create some type. Type token type. So we will have email, that's a string, and that's boolean. Okay, so that's what we have, and we can even do SS token type. All right, so we have already decoded, and then the next thing is from here we can now get the email address of our authenticated user if we want to do something, and also from here we can see that whether someone is logged in or not. So if decoded dot is logged in, then we are returning true. So this is all we want for now, and actually it's a better practice to save this somewhere because we need to also have that value in public route. So, or we can export from here. You know what, I'll just go here, just have some util folder and just say use auth, and basically going to take all these from here, pass it here, and then I'll just say export default use auth. All right, don't know if this will work, but let's try. And then here import use auth from use auth. Okay, sounds like a good plan. So we already have all these. So the next one is inside here we want const, and all we want is logged in, and that is we get from use auth. So we get true or false. After returned, we can do some check, and that is if someone is logged in. If that's the case, then we can have outlet, and that comes from React router DOM, and if it's question mark, if logged in, if not, then I want to use navigate, and where I want to navigate user is we want them to navigate to login page. So this is all this private route does, is if someone is authenticated, it will let them go whatever the route they are requesting. If not, it will do the navigate to login. And now we have to actually go back to our routes here, and then here we need to import private routes. Okay, and then so now we have this imported. We need to modify these routes the way we handle and then make them something. So first thing, let's go, I'll just have this leave small comment. So wrap all the private routes that needs authentication here. So what we can do is we can still use the same route, and I will call it path still this one as it is, but inside element what I want to call is, instead of this dashboard, I want to call it private route. And now I'm not going to close it, because that's how you can do children. And by the way, it shouldn't be this, it should be like this. So the idea is, in this new React router, which I have already made video about, and please go there and watch all this video. There is all the GitHub, everything, you can see it. All right, so we have our main route, and inside that we are wrapping. So if you don't want to wrap anything, there is a closing bracket. It's basically how the component work, and this is technically a children of this component. Okay, so that's what it looks like, sub route, children, nested, however you say. So here in the main or in the parents, we have private route, and then we have this children. But let's do something. I'll just duplicate this, and here I actually want to use something called navigate, and then we can also do direct, but there is something called replace, and I have explained all of these in my video that I have been referring here. So then here, instead of this, we'll do dashboard. So now a very short explanation. What I'm doing here is we are wrapping this inside private route, and then this and these are same. So you know, when you just have one slash, that means they are all in home level. And then from here I have this dashboard, so this falls inside this slash and dashboard. And then so here what we are saying is, whenever someone comes to our home page, home URL, that is basically when you type google.com, you are in the slash, that's the main thing. And then if you type /login /signup or anything, then you will have something else. Okay, so in this case we have the home route, and then we have the dashboard routes. Let's save it. Let's go here, and if I try to go here, okay, so I go to dashboard, however it's not showing our dashboard items. Okay, let's see what's happening. So it says we don't have any route that matches dashboard, so that's the reason. And why are we having that? Okay, so let's go here. I'll just copy this one, and then it will replace to dashboard, and this is a dashboard route. Okay, so we just had some typo there. Now it's all good. So the idea is, whenever we type something, it automatically takes us to dashboard, and if we type this, this also takes. So we are now inside our dashboard, and that's looking good. And if you notice, we are getting to that route only when we are authenticated. So to test that, if we go here, if I remove this accessToken, if I refresh, it will actually redirect us to the login page. Okay, that's what we wanted. So the next thing is we will go to public route. So basically I will just copy everything from private route and we will go to public route. I'll just change this to public route. Okay, and then what we can do is we can just reverse this. So how can we reverse this? Okay, let's think of it. So I can cut this and then I do something like that, and here we can do dashboard. So the idea is when someone is already logged in, we want to navigate them to dashboard, otherwise we will do the outlet. Okay, so now let's go back to our routes, and where do we have that? Here, and let's import public routes, and then we will use the same technique here. So we will have route, we will have path, and then we will have element, and then we will have public route, and we do something like that. Okay, so instead of closing it, we want to wrap it inside here, and then let's just command X here. So now let's see if we can do something. Okay, so we have now basically followed the same principle. I'm not exactly sure if this will work. Let's try. So if we try to go to this route, okay, it takes us to login, and that's good. And if we log in, so do I even remember the password? Let's see if I have this. If I can log in, oh, it says sign up. Okay, so we haven't even attached a login at all. So let's go to sign up, and let's try to sign up. Let's just say user and the password is 123. So let's sign up. So we have accessToken. So if we refresh this, it should actually take us to dashboard, and it does. Okay, so now if you try to go to login page, it takes you to dashboard. If you try to go to sign up page, it will take you to dashboard because we are logged in. So this is working perfectly as we wanted. We want to also do something that when someone successfully logs in or signs in, we want them to be redirected to the dashboard. So that's one thing we will do, and we will also handle the login case. Once we are done with those two, we will be done for today's video. So let's go and let's handle those. Okay, so the first thing, let's go and let's actually create a logout. Okay, because I think we will need that. So let's go to app bar here, and we have a profile, and then we can also have logout, and we have to show logout only when someone is logged in. So I think we need to use our use auth also here. So let's go here, const is logged in. Let's use auth. So now we can use is logged in for something. So let's say if we have someone is logged in, then we want to show logout. So I want to have it label as logout, and on click we'll just call logout function, and probably we will use this logout function, or we will have that inside our use auth, which was inside util. So let's go here and logout. So that's a function, and what we want to do when someone logs out is we just want to take the accessToken away. So local storage dot remove item, and this is the reason why I said we should have some sort of constant, so we should do that. And additionally we should also redirect to login page, and we can do that multiple ways, but for now let's just have the manual way. We should be taking some history or something from the React router DOM and then using that. So let's do that later, but for now we have this logout that we can use already. So let's go to app bar, and then here we can also have something called logout, and we can just call that logout here. And then let's go to login page. So here when someone, again we want to do login, and then we just want to pass login payload. All right, I think we have now pretty good. So if someone tries to go there, they are there. And now let's do user@user.com. we give the password, I do enter, and if I refresh, yes, we are there. So that's good. One thing I will do is, instead of having it in use auth, I'll just copy this and let's go to auth service, and I will have logout also here. Kind of makes sense. So here we should not take this from there, but logout should come from services. All right, so we have that. Also thinking that actually I don't want anything, we only want logout. We can somehow use this use navigate. Let's see if we can use it. So for now let's just have callback. I will just do any. Obviously you can even have this type declaration for navigate and everything. I will just have this any for now, and then I'll just like to call this. So the idea with this would be, in app bar here I will remove this, but I will just do use navigate, and then I will have navigate is use navigate. So in logout here, instead of that we'll pass some callback, and that callback will be navigate, and then it says where we want to navigate. So we want to navigate to login. I'm not exactly sure if this will work, but let's try. So let's go here and let's have a console log. Oh, okay, it says CB is not a function. However, it actually does the job. And if that's the case, let's replicate this same thing. So instead of CB, I will write redirect to, and for now I'll just call this to, and that will be string, and that will be void. I'm not sure if this will exactly work, but let's just do, and it seems like it's not. Oh no, that's not true. That's redirected to. And yeah, so actually we don't need this. We don't need this, so let's just call this, and then we are getting this problem because okay, so it's that type, it's a navigate function, and that's the reason we are having that one. So actually let's go and let's try to give this type here instead of our custom type. Okay, and then it will expect something. So okay, let's try to fix this by calling this function. So we can actually call this function here. That's interesting. So I will say to login, and the good part of that is we actually can just pass this function. So I'm not still sure if that will work or not, but let's try. So if this works here, then let's try to use this same principle in login. So we have a payload, and then the payload is not enough, so we want to have also redirect to, and let's just do, so we have this function here, and then we have sign up, and we have this function here, and then I'll just copy this one. So after this, what we want is we want to navigate to dashboard, and then that's the same case here. Now we will have a problem, and we have to solve that problem by using exactly the same theory like here. So somewhere here we would like to have that navigate, and it comes from use navigate, and then here with that we also want to pass this navigate function, so we can do that. And then we need to do the same thing in login, and here also I will do the same thing. I will import use navigate from here, and then here I will pass the navigate function. Okay, so let's try. So if everything works, I'll just refresh, so we don't have anything. Let's clear this. We go to user@user.com and 1 2 3 login. Yes, so we are redirected to the dashboard. We don't have any warning here. We log out, we are here. So far we have done pretty good job in doing all the user authentication and everything, and I'm sure even when we sign up, new user.com, and we have sign up, and it redirects us. That's good. We can be redirected multiple times, so that's good. Our redirection are working good. If we go to login, it will redirect us here, and then it will redirect us to the login page. And then if we try to go somewhere here to dashboard, it will also take us there, and we can sign up and we can log in. All right, so we have done pretty nice job. And then there is just one last thing I would like to show you, and that is if we go to the network tab. So let's go and let's register our user, and we will do 1 2 3. We are logged in. So now when we try to create URL, so let's say YouTube, I think we already have that URL exists. So when I do this, okay, so this is what I was looking for. The idea is that every time we are making this call, we are sending in back in the token. That's the same token we have saved here. So we are sending that token. So that's all for today's video. I hope this video was useful. Until now, we have managed to do a lot of things. We already have our main idea clear, so we can do all this kind of redirection and everything. It's working like expected. And then we also have now already made all this login, authentication, sign up and everything, and even accessToken and so on. So if you have enjoyed the journey so far, smash the like button, and if you haven't subscribed the channel, press the subscribe button as well as press the bell icon so that you will be notified whenever I upload new videos. Thanks for watching this video and coming all the way until this part, and I hope to see you in upcoming videos. Until then, keep coding. Bye bye.